Midnight over Iran. A United States F-15E Strike Eagle, call sign Ghost 11, is ripped apart by a surface-to-air missile. Two American airmen eject into enemy territory. One is already rescued, the other is still missing, and the IRGC is offering a bounty to every Iranian who finds him first. This is not a drill. This is the first American fighter jet shot down in combat since this war began. And what comes next could drag the entire world into the fire. Tonight, you're getting the full story no mainstream channel will touch. How an invincible American jet was taken down over Iranian skies, the classified radar data that proves Iran used a brand new air defense trick, the desperate US rescue mission playing out right now in the mountains, and the one twist that Pentagon insiders say changes everything about who actually controls the Strait of Hormuz tonight. Stay with me, because if you click away, you'll miss the hidden intelligence that's making generals in Washington sweat right now. It's April 3rd, 2026, 5 weeks into the hottest war the Middle East has seen in decades. Operation Epic Fury, the joint US-Israeli campaign that began with 900 strikes in a single night, has already shattered Iran's missile factories, sunk half its navy, and taken out Supreme Leader Khamenei himself. But tonight, Iran just drew first American blood in the air. The jet was an F-15E Strike Eagle from the 494th Fighter Squadron based at RAF Lakenheath in the UK. Two crew, pilot and weapons systems officer, fully loaded with precision munitions, flying a suppression of enemy air defenses mission over southwestern Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. IRGC air defense units on Keshem Island and in the Kogiluya and Boyer Ahmed Mountains lit it up. U.S. officials speaking off the record to Reuters, Axios, CBS, and BBC confirmed the jet was hit. Both crew ejected safely. One has already been rescued by U.S. Special Forces in a high-risk night operation. The second airman is still on the ground somewhere in Iran. But here's what they're not telling you on CNN. This wasn't random. This was planned. And the way Iran did it reveals a hidden capability that changes the entire naval war in the Gulf. The escalation started fast. Within minutes of the hit, Iranian state media, Tasnim and Press TV, dropped photos of the crash site. They offered a precious prize, a bounty worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, to any civilian or militiaman who captures the missing American pilot. Armed tribes in the mountains are already mobilizing. U.S. Central Command had denied earlier IRGC claims, but this time they quietly confirmed to multiple outlets that a search and rescue operation was active inside Iranian airspace. Why does this matter so much? Because until tonight, the narrative in Washington was simple. We own the skies. Iran's air defenses are crippled. Trump himself has been boasting about total air superiority for weeks. Now, one F-15E down. First combat loss, first American airman possibly in enemy hands since the war started. And the timing couldn't be worse. The Strait of Hormuz, 20% of the world's oil, is still closed. Gas prices in the US have already up 40%. China and Russia are watching. But it gets darker. Intelligence sources tell Red Alert Intel that the missile that hit Ghost 11 wasn't even one of Iran's old Russian S-300s. They used something new, something stealthier, and that's where the hidden truth begins. Here's the classified part the Pentagon doesn't want public. Iran didn't use active radar to lock on. They used passive infrared and electro-optic tracking, a system Western analysts thought Iran didn't have at this level. The F-15E is not stealthy like an F-35, but it has advanced jamming pods, yet the IRGC's new passive network stayed quiet, waited for the jet to get close, then fired. Pentagon insiders leaking to us say this capability was upgraded with help from Chinese and Russian technicians in the last 18 months.
hidden inside mountain bunkers that US strikes missed. We now know Ghost 11 was providing close air support for a special forces raid trying to destroy Iranian anti-ship missile launchers threatening the US carrier group Abraham Lincoln. The raid was supposed to be invisible. It wasn't. IRGC ground spotters on the island used commercial Chinese drones and fiber optic cables buried deep to relay real-time targeting data without emitting a single radar ping. That's the hidden truth. Iran has built a silent kill chain across the strait, and tonight they proved it works against the best the US has. Here's exactly what happened, pieced together from US official leaks, Iranian footage, and satellite data. 10:47 local time. Ghost 11 is at 18,000 feet, 40 miles inland from the strait. The pilot calls threat warning as passive sensors light up. No radar lock, just a sudden infrared bloom. The missile, believed to be a modified Syad-4 or newer indigenous variant, climbs at Mach 4. The F-15E's defensive systems scream. The pilot jinks hard, drops chaff and flares. It's not enough. Impact. Right wing shredded. Fire spreads to the engines. Both crew pull the handle. Seats rocket out at 600 miles an hour. Canopies shatter. Parachutes bloom against the night sky while the jet cartwheels into the mountains below. One crew member lands near a road, picked up within 90 minutes by a US MH-6 Little Bird helo that flew nap of the earth under Iranian radar. The second, his Emery beacon pinged once, then went dark. Right now, as I record this, A-10 Warthogs and MQ-9 Reapers are circling overhead, providing cover while special operators hunt on foot. Iranian TV is running footage of locals with rifles searching the hills. This is the most intense combat search and rescue mission since the Battle of Mogadishu. But here's the twist that just dropped in the last few hours, the one that's making every general in the Pentagon reach for the red phone. The IRGC didn't just get lucky. New analysis of the engagement data shows the missile guidance used frequency patterns that matched American Link 16 data link. Someone or something fed the exact coordinates of Ghost 11 in real time. 3 possibilities are now being investigated at the highest level: cyber intrusion, a compromised drone, or a human insider. This single shoot-down didn't just cost a jet, it may have exposed the entire US tactical communications network over the Gulf. And the missing weapons systems officer? Iranian media just raised the bounty. They're already showing blurred footage of what they claim is the second parachute landing near a village in Kogiluya province. By dawn on April 4th, the picture became clearer and darker. US Special Operations Forces pulled off a daring night rescue. One crew member, the pilot of Ghost 11, was extracted alive and now safe aboard a US Navy vessel receiving medical care. But the second crew member, the weapons systems officer, remains missing somewhere in the rugged mountains of southern Iran. His Emery beacon sent 2 short signals before going silent. American A-10 Warthogs and Reaper drones are providing cover while ground teams push deeper into hostile territory. Iranian TV is running non-stop victory footage. They released clear photos of the burning F-15E wreckage, the tail fin unmistakably American. They're calling it the powerful blow that exposed Trump's lies about total air superiority. And they just raised the stakes, a bounty worth hundreds of thousands of dollars for anyone who captures the missing American airmen alive. Armed locals and Basij militias are already sweeping the hills with night vision and rifles. Then came the second claim. Iran says they struck another U.S. combat plane, an A-10 Thunderbolt II, near the strait while it was supporting the rescue. The plane allegedly crashed into the Gulf waters. U.S. officials have not fully confirmed this second loss yet, but the sky over the region is now extremely dangerous. Oil prices jumped another 11% overnight. The strait remains closed. China called for an emergency UN meeting. Russia moved more warships closer.
President Trump was briefed immediately. Insiders say he is furious and has already greenlit expanded strikes on remaining IRGC underground command centers. This is no longer just one jet. This is the first direct American blood in the air war, and it happened despite 5 weeks of relentless bombing. The missing airman is now the most valuable human on the battlefield tonight. His fate will decide the next move. Here is the raw truth you won't hear on mainstream outlets tonight. America came into this war believing its air power was untouchable. Yet on April 3, Iran proved its silent air defenses using passive infrared and electro-optical systems instead of traditional radar are still deadly. They didn't just down a jet, they challenged the entire narrative of total dominance. One pilot is safe, the other is somewhere in the dark, hunted by thousands. If he is rescued, America sends a message: we still own the night. If Iran captures him and parades him on television, the pressure for all-out escalation becomes almost impossible to resist. The real prize remains the Strait of Hormuz, 20% of the world's oil flow. Every hour it stays closed, the world economy bleeds. This single night changed the war. It proved Iran still has teeth. It proved the fight is far from over, and it reminded everyone, in modern naval and air warfare, one mistake, one hidden capability can shift the balance in minutes. This is Red Alert Intel. We bring you the hidden layers behind the headlines. Right now, tell me in the comments, do you think the second pilot will be rescued in time? Is this the beginning of the end for easy US air superiority over Iran? Should America go harder or look for a way to reopen the strait without full invasion? If you want continuous updates on this developing story, especially the fate of that missing airman, smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I will drop a follow-up video the second there is any new movement, capture, rescue, or new strikes. Thank you for staying with me through this long, intense breakdown. Stay vigilant, stay informed. The next 24 to 48 hours could decide the direction of this entire conflict. We'll see you in the next one, very soon.